Welcome back to Sports Econ 101. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with my co-hosts Vern Glenn and Bruce McGowan. And guys, I want to get into email time. We received an email from a listener that said, because you guys are famous, not me, but you guys are famous, your most interesting interviews. Vern, let's start with you.
Most interesting interviews. Well, Hank Aaron sticks out to mind because he's Hank Aaron. It was my second year in the markets. This is 1992. Aaron was here to give Barry Bonds a MVP award. And Gary Radnich, my co-worker at the time, was off, so I had to do the show. I'm live at Candlestick Park, and Hank Aaron is our guest. And if you watch the tape, if I may use the term tape, of the show, it looks like, hey, there's Vern, calm, cool, having a good time, having a friendly chat with Hank Aaron. But on the inside, I am jumping up and down. Like, oh my God, this is Hank Aaron. This is Hank Aaron. Yeah. That was interesting. And on the other side, I had a very interesting interview with
Song and dance man.
Yeah.
You're snapping your fingers.
Lady of the Blue Screen, the most successful porn star in the history of the business.
Porn star?
Yeah.
Marilyn Chambers.
No. More modern than that.
A woman?
Yeah, huge box office star. In fact, she crossed over and was mainstream briefly.
I don't know.
Oh,
Bruce,
come
Bruce
on.
and I don't go to those movies.
Come on.
I don't know.
Come on.
Okay,
Oh.
while you're thinking about that, Bruce, let's go on to you.
Well, I have a hard time with it. I'd say it probably right coming to mind, and it was a short interview, but it was maybe 6 questions, was Joe Namath. After a 49er Rams game when Joe was finishing up his career in LA as a backup, and I asked him, he'd just come out of the shower and his hair was all messed up, and he was wearing a towel around his waist, and he goes, give me a few minutes. So he gets himself dressed and he puts his sweater on, and he gets over to his little cubicle, and all these other reporters are coming around, and they see me with the camera guy because I was working at TV at the time, a little station up in Eureka, and Joe Namath couldn't have been a more gentlemanly, likable, interesting guy.
And he's not the porn star that Vern's thinking of, right?
God,
I was going to say, and Joe Namath, the thing that struck me about the interview was, I said, so what's up next? You're 37 years old or 36 or whatever. He was at the end of his career. He says, well, right now, I'm just looking forward to getting home and seeing my lady. And I thought that was kind of cool. But I've gotten to know Joe Namath a little bit. He's a friend of mine on Facebook. Of course, he's a friend of a lot of people's on Facebook. But he tells the story about the toughest game he ever played against was not the Super Bowl, because they won that Super Bowl decisively over the Baltimore Colts.
It's got to be against the Raiders.
It was against the Raiders in the championship, and they had to dethrone the Raiders to get to the Super Bowl. And Joe had some shots to his shoulder, to his face. I mean, Ike Lassiter knocked him down one time, and Joe was lying on the ground in pain, and Ike Lassiter is standing over him yelling, I got him! He's hurt! He's down! Of course, Joe Namath came back and threw a touchdown pass to Don Maynard, and we all know what happened. And they beat the Raiders, and that was the first of many disappointing conference title losses the Raiders had until they finally went in '76. But I'd say Joe Namath was one, and I don't know, there've been so many, but I love Vernon's story about Hank Aaron. I felt the same way about Joe Namath.
God! Oh, what a huge fan! Even today, I'm just huge fan. I mean, Hank. Come
Class.
on, it's Hank Aaron. Now, I might get blank stares from like younger kids, but come on, it's Hank Aaron.
I've gotten a chance to talk with him, but in group situations or on the telephone, but never one-on-one, face-to-face, and what a big thrill that would be.
He was awesome.
Willie Mays is a lot of fun to talk with. He's kind of different, but you have to be careful what you ask Willie, because sometimes he'll come back at you. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? And it's always he's not trying to make you feel bad or anything. He just wants to know why are you asking me that question?
The thing with Willie, I like about when he's like playing around, he calls me Pee Wee.
Oh, is that right?
But when he's serious, he calls me Vernon.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Okay.
not Vern.
Not Vern.
He goes Vernon.
Vern.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
By the way, that actor, Jenna Jameson.
Never.
Jenna Jameson.
Well,
Doesn't strike a bell.
the name sounds familiar, but not because I've gone to see the movies, but
So I've heard.
so you heard,
I went and saw
wife's
the Behind the Green Door, and
Yeah,
The
that's
Resurrection of Eve was a double bill. It was with the 2 big porn films of the early 70s. I was 19 years old, went with my buddies in San Francisco, and it was such a big deal, and I just thought, well, it's just a bunch of people crawling over each other with a cameraman going, come on, make it more interesting.
Listen, I'm so old that porn films, everyone kept their clothes on. It wasn't very
So
exciting.
that is going bad.
That is pretty bad. Okay, hey guys, really quickly, freedom of speech. you guys remember the old remember Ozzie Guillen?
Oh, sure.
Okay, you remember he got suspended
For saying something nice about what, Castro?
Yeah, he said he admired Fidel Castro in Little Havana
Ooh,
just before that stadium opened.
not a good idea.
Yeah, but I mean, what's the idea? Okay, so it's not a good idea. It's not politically correct.
Right.
But isn't there something about freedom of speech?
Yeah, there is, but you just have to be a little more judgmental about what you're going to say.
Yeah, but to suspend them and probably
Well,
without pay. I mean, it's one thing to say, the Miami Marlins don't share the same view, but we respect the fact that he's got a right to his opinion, or just distance themselves. But
That's odd. That's Ozzy.
But I think the story is it caught everybody off guard. He had given that interview. Was it Time magazine?
Mm-hmm.
He had given that interview a few months beforehand.
Yeah.
And that was it. I don't think the Marlins even knew about it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it hits, and it's like, oh my God.
But Ozzy, I was going to say about Ozzy because I dealt with him a number of times. He just shoots from the hip. I mean, everything is unfiltered. Everything is unfiltered.
I'm not an Ozzie Guillen fan.
He's a good manager, but he shoots from the hip.
I'll tell you this: when they came to play the Giants the first time with the Marlins, man, I mean, everybody was just all over him. I'm just talking about from a media standpoint. Showtime was there because they were doing the Showtime series on the Miami Marlins that particular year. I mean, it was just hanging around, just waiting for him to just shoot from the hip and say something stupid.
I think he enjoyed it, though. I really do, Vern. I think he enjoyed it.
He's that kind of guy. I like what he says here. He goes, yeah, I was thinking in Spanish and I said the wrong thing in English. But basically, his whole thing supposedly was that he was just surprised that Castro was able to stay in power.
Well, here's the thing that Americans don't like to remember this, but we supported Castro when he first was fighting Batista.
That's right.
We armed the guy.
Yeah.
It's always so funny. We always sit there, oh, that guy's such a bad guy. But yeah, we supported him initially, just like I don't want to get into politics here. So this is a support show.
I just thought it was just one of those really interesting things that a guy would get suspended.
I know. That's
for
pretty ridiculous. You're right.
Okay. How about this? Are individual celebrations really bad or good for sport?
I think they're great. I mean, they're fun. It's entertainment.
Yep.
And it's a chance for these athletes to kind of blow off a little steam.
Sure.
They just scored this game-winning touchdown or made a spectacular catch. Have a little fun with it. And that was the great thing about not the World Football League, but the USFL. They let them have fun with it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember?
Right. Yeah. Well, I remember the Washington Redskins would kind of pretend that they were throwing craps. You remember that?
Yeah.
In fact, Elmo Wright, you remember him?
Yeah, sure.
Kansas City, he was the first one kind of to do the dance.
Well, the first guy to spike the ball was Homer Jones of the New York Giants.
It wasn't Otis Taylor?
No, it was not Otis Taylor. It was well, maybe it was because New York always is the first, But that's what I hear. But I mean, that was considered wow. He's spiking the football. But you don't see it too much in baseball. And I think the reason you don't see it, you usually see when they win a walk-off game, everybody goes nuts. But it's just there's so many games.
Well, I think there's another thing too. When a guy hits a home run, then he just takes an easy trot, one flap down, like Jeffrey Leonard. You got to watch out. The next pitch may get
right in your ear.
Yeah. Yep. And Jeffrey did. Remember, he came home and Tony Pena during the playoffs after the one flap down took a ball that was coming in from the outfield, and Jeffrey Leonard's trying to score. And he whacks him right in the head with it, knocked him flat. So he took that ball with his glove and went bam, just knocked right into him. And Jeffrey Leonard got up and was like, okay. Well,
I think guys like Joe DiMaggio were kind of smart. They kind of realized, don't show too much emotion.
You know what he did? He showed emotion one time. He kicked up some dirt when the guy made a great catch.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's about the only time he ever did that.
That was a different era.
Wasn't the Pacific League just Pacific Coast League? Weren't they? Wasn't that like a powerful league? Didn't guys?
Oh yeah, no question.
Sure, you had the Little Brothers in there too.
Yeah, you didn't have as many teams back then.
Okay, guys, we're going to cut to our first commercial break, and again, the theme is basketball. And who set the NBA record for being the first to miss 5,000 free throws? And I know you've heard this player. The first three callers with the correct answer win a free 3-day, 2-night stay at the Lighthouse Resort. Their website is lighthouse4fun.com. Call 888, and no looking at it on the internet, 888-660-4495 to answer this question. Who set the NBA record for being the first to miss 5,000 free throws? Again, 888-660-4495. Make sure to include your name and your email address. Speak slowly. Spell out your email one letter at a time. Don't touch that dial because Sports Econ 101 will be right back with some very interesting news.
Is it Wilt?
It's got to be Wilt
It is
Chamberlain.
Wilt.